Hello, my name is Sabrina Brightstar, and today I wanted to tell you about a story that happened to me several months ago. I was laying down on my living room floor listening to an audio program called, let me look to make sure I say the name right, called Creating Beneficial Extraterrestrial Contact by Simeon 7D. And so I was laying on my living room floor, listening to this, and my son was kind of snuggling up next to me. And just as she was talking about what an ET, an extraterrestrial, I prefer the term star friend, what a star friend might look like, at the very second in my earbuds as I'm listening to this, my son put his face right next to my face, and his face morphed into an ET face. And it happened so quick, but I was like so surprised because I had never seen his face morph. I've never seen anyone's face morph into an extraterrestrial face before. And it was so weird because it was at the exact time she was saying this, as I was listening to this in my ears. So I thought, wow, that's really weird. Well, the interesting thing is two pieces to the story. The day before, I believe it was the day before, I was doing some meditating with a friend, and for whatever reason, out of the blue, I went way up in his face, right? I just went way up in his face, unexpectedly, because I didn't really even know I was going to do it. I went way up into his face, for eye contact, to be super, close to him. And he wasn't expecting me to do that. And he looked at me, and he had a look on his face as if I had, I don't know, I instantly felt horrible. And he looked at me as if, just for a second, when it happened, he looked at me, the only way to describe how I felt is I felt like I was a perpetrator, like I'd violated him, because he had this instant look in his eyes of, that I'd violated him. And, I felt horrible. I felt really, really bad. And, so then the next day, to have the same thing happen with my son, and his face morphed into this face, but his face felt so loving. It oozed love. And so that day when I was meditating, I was asking my team, I'm like, what was that all about? What happened? And my team said that I personally got to experience firsthand what it feels like to look at and be looked at through the eyes of love, through the eyes of unconditional love. And I also got to feel firsthand what it feels like when someone has fear of you, when someone's afraid of you. And the star friends were telling me they go through that experience often because of, I don't even know the histories, and I don't care. But many of the loving, well-intended, benevolent star friends have had to witness or experience that fear, that discomfort in people's eyes. And wow, what a way to learn a lesson. So, it gave me so much compassion and understanding. And I just wanted to declare, do whatever I could to announce or educate or to share with people that there's so many beings, so many people we run into, so many beings we will run into that have nothing but love for us. And I know logically we don't think these things happen so fast. It's not an option of thinking about it because, you can go, oh, like my friend, obviously he's not afraid of me. Not that he was afraid, but obviously he's a friend. He's not gonna, he loves me. He doesn't think of me as a bad person, a violator. But it was in that quick snap of a decision, that's what happens. So, it really gave me so much insight, compassion, understanding, and it really helps me to want to be, vocal that our star friends may look different and they may, have a different image, a different body, a different appearance. But just because the outside shell is different doesn't mean it's dangerous. Okay, so then this is the other part of the story, an amazing part of the story. So my friend had shown me Cynthia Crawford's ET sculptures. And I had seen her website before, and I had a dream about a star friend. And then the next day, my friend River accidentally, I had never even heard of Cynthia Crawford. She showed me Cynthia Crawford's page, and the being that I had dreamed about was in her page, and it's a Zeta being, a tall white Zeta, and the tall white Zeta had been in my dream the night before. So what a coincidence to get to go to her website and see my tall white Zeta that was in my dream. Well, then, so after my experience with my son and his face morphing into this most amazing, loving star face, I was on her website again, and guess what I see? I see the face of my son. And this is the exact face my son morphed into. So we call this gorgeous. Isn't he amazing? I love him. He's my favorite. So I love all the star friends, so I don't want anyone to feel bad. But this one is by far my favorite. This one has my heart. And so we call this guy Little Andre. And we know that this is Andre. This is Little Andre. And he is a Grey Zeta. He's a Grey Zeta. And he's amazing. His energy, you see, can you feel him? Can't you just feel his amazingness? I just love him so much. And then what's really interesting, Andre and I had a one-on-one with Bashar this summer. And we were, one of the first things we started talking about, I asked Bashar, about, and so Bashar doesn't know me, he doesn't know my son, he doesn't know anything about us. We're not friends. We're not acquaintances or anything. And so I'd asked Bashar about my parallel, my other dimensional lives. And first thing out of Bashar's mouth is my connection with the Greys, and that me and my children are hybrids, which we had already kind of figured out on our own. So it was neat just to get that confirmation from him as he talked about our parallel life with the Greys. So we are in love with these guys. They're our family. They're us. They're me. So we have nothing but amazing connections and amazing love with our star friends, in particular the Grey Zetas.